Welcome back to Motors and Medicine. I'm here working on the Bronco. We're going to be installing it's kind of like a roof rack for lights, but it will also act as a protector for the windshield. So we'll just go ahead and get started. First thing I got to do is pop off the clips that are up here. These are the clips that come with the Bronco. These clips up here, they act as attachment sites for different accessories, and we'll get into that here in just a sec. So that's the first one. Next, I'm going to remove the two screws that are covering up the accessory panel here on the cowl. So I'm going to grab a wrench. All right. Once you have these off, the next step is to remove the nuts that are up here on the top rack. Oh. Got to switch ratchets real quick. All right, so the two tools needed for this, the sizes for these two, this one's a T25, this other one was a T30, T25, T30. All right. All right, now we'll remove these two nuts up here. And I believe these are 10 millimeter. Yep. All right. And I believe we removed the plastic as far as I'm informed by the instructions. So this is what the first hoop looks like. It's powder coated, made out of aluminum, and I believe it situates right in there like that. Just like that. So then we're just gonna get the hardware and fasten this back down. So you reuse the original hardware for these two, and then they provide you with a couple of nuts and washers for the top mount. So do that next. So I'm just going to set stuff up here just to have it ready. We'll first start here with the getting these started just a little loosely. All right, now we'll just get going with tightening this outer one up first. And there is a little bit of adjustability with these, so I'm not going to tighten it all the way down in case we need to adjust a little bit when we attach the center section. Careful not to crack your glass. All right, leave it almost snug down all the way, but not quite. Now, next thing, I'm just gonna toss a couple washers up here over these two guys. Same thing up here. We'll tighten up, but not tighten all the way down. All right, and this way we have a little bit of play so that when we attach the center section, we can actually play with this a little bit, figure out if we need to make any adjustments, and then button it down all the way. So now we'll just repeat the process on the other side, and then we'll attach the center section. All right, so now you can see I got the other pillar installed here. So we've got two pillars, and they're a little bit loose so that we can get the other top section installed. So I'm going to get a little bit of help from a friend to install that top section, and once we get that bolted down, then we'll be able to tighten up these last two and then button up the bottom ones for good. So we'll just move forward with that. And there's adjustability with these as well, so I'm just going to kind of start loosely getting these on. These are nylon nuts, so they hold pretty well. All right. Now I'm going to get these snug down just a little bit, not all the way. We'll try to figure out what the best position is. Something about like that. All right, I'm going to grab another socket and we'll get started with this. All right, so for these two nuts in here, you need a 13mm socket on one end and then an Allen on the other end. So we'll grab that Allen wrench. Again, take caution with your windshield. You don't want to crack it. All right. So the positioning I'm going to shoot for is nearly flush here in front, and then the back will be, there's a rubber gasket that we installed on this upper piece, and that rubber gasket is meant to sit on alongside the rubber gasket that's up here. So we're just going to kind of make sure that we're up on that. Perfect. So that's right in the position where I'd want it to be. Now we'll get going with tightening up the inside. And on this side, just be cautious with your paint to make sure you don't scratch it. I'm using my hand as a barrier in between the paint and the wrench. All right. So now you can see we buttoned that down. We have access for these bolts inside that I'll tighten those up here in just a minute. So for now, I'm just gonna move on to the other side and then show you the finished product when it's all done. All right, so we're back. Got everything buttoned down. Now, as you can see, this piece, it's really well done. It fit perfect. The fitment was perfect. The hardware was perfect. It reused only the two bolts from down on the cowl. Otherwise, everything else is like nice stainless hardware, bolted up nicely, and it's lightweight, but it's been powder coated. Almost looks like a rhino liner. The nice thing about this is that now it's got a mount for 4 lights, and so I plan on doing that on the next little bit. We'll get some lights in here and get those installed. But for the most part right now, this should help not only with the looks of the overall looks of the vehicle, because it just looks more tough, but also I think once we get the lights on, it's going to be a little bit more versatile for going off-road at night, things like that. And beyond that, I'm hoping that maybe I get a little bit of buffeting from the wind noise that I get from this top. So maybe this might help with that, might reduce it just a little bit. But overall, I just wanted to show you guys how easy this was to install. I'm going to leave a link in the description of where I bought this and the name of the company. And yeah, hopefully you guys, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, this is Motors and Medicine signing off.